There you go. Wanted to get the easy anti-cheat in because I didn't want anyone to think we were forget about little. What it is, what it do, everybody. Hello. This will probably be one of the first new videos I make for 2023. Happy to have you here. Happy we all got to make it to another year on this beautiful blue trap bubble. Today we're playing the Gangsta King of SA's, a Schnee Dust Company production, Remembering. Now, for those of you who are uninitiated in this place, allow me to give you some background. This mod was made by someone who goes by the name of Weiss, aka Hanaka, aka Weissika, aka the Gansta King of SA. This character, Weiss, is a moderator of the entirety, not only just a moderator, one of the head admins of Doki Doki Modding Club, aka one of the biggest Doki Doki Literature Club modding communities and modding subreddits in this space. If you want to find a mod, this is the place to go. If you want to find the resources to make a mod, this is the place to go. Generally, all the people you know and love who make mods, make content about mods, all this stuff, they're found here. And Weiss is one of the top dogs in this whole space. Now, Weiss has been around here for about 4 years. Actually, no, over 4 years at this point. Weiss joined this place back in April of 2018 and has been around since. Now, during the course of some drama and things, which we'll get into by playing this mod, Weiss ended up becoming one of the head admins of the entire community. And Remembering is a tale about Weiss's overall experience here and a message that Weiss has to give to everybody at the end. And that'll be a message I'll be more than happy to go over with you all. Now, if you guys are excited for some Remembering and another quality video from your boy, be sure to hit the like button and stick around because we're in for a wild ride. Now, without a moment to spare, let's get on with the show. Now, before I go on, I want to say there's a Spanish mode in this game, or this mod rather. Why, I don't know. The only thing I could assume is that Weiss is also a Spanish speaker as well as an English speaker, and wanted to show a little more of that Spanish side. Don't worry. If you speak Spanish, then this should be no problem for you. If you don't speak Spanish, I could give you the gist of what it's saying. What is that? Oh, what is this? This feeling. Why does it feel so entangled inside my mind? I can't escape from them. The voices inside my head. Is this what you wanted after 4 years? Has everything that you faced been worth it to be part of a place you used to call home? Was it really? Was all of this worth it? No. I'm drawn back to a time where I was a part of something. No. Further beyond that. Everything I've seen, everything that's happened over the years, I've seen it all now. Oh, how times have changed. I can just barely remember that fateful day my interest brought me to that place. Oh, hi, JQilin. Need a hand with anything? Now, to give you a little feedback, give you some perspective here. Back in the days, well, this is reflecting on obviously when Weiss first joined DDMC. The MC in this case is Weiss. Monica in this case would be the founder of DDMC, at least based on my understanding of this. Weiss, if you watch this, you can feel free to correct me for anything I get wrong. But I believe this is Camping Carl, who was the main founder of DDMC and the main owner of the subreddit at the time. Based on the fact that since Monika's supposed to be the president of the club, basically I believe this would be Cappy Carl. And if you don't know about Cappy Carl, well, Savage Central made a whole video about Cappy Carl and the things like that back in the day. But long story short, Cappy Carl was the founder of DDMC, who was ousted for the community when it was found out he was a pedophile. It's nothing. I just wanted to see if you guys had any openings.
Oh, you're interested in coding with us?
Yeah, I saw one of the projects you guys made, and it inspired me to want to make my own.
Oh? Which one was that? Which one was it?
I think it was called A Fresh New Morning, if I remember right. Okay, so, for those of you who know, obviously you know, but for those of you who don't know, this mod is a brand new day. Now, a brand new day was quite big back in the day when it came out back in 2018, not how much I remember. I think they're still working on it now. I'm not completely sure if they're still working on it now, but I think the brand new day is still around. But yes, this is the mod in question here.
Ah, nice. We're rather proud of that one. We have plenty of room to accommodate you. Since it looks like you know your stuff, I'll skip the introduction spiel. Just have a seat and start coming up with something. It could be whatever you wish, really. Before that, though, let me get you all the tools you need to download on your computer first.
Sounds great. Can't wait to see what everyone's projects will be like.
And we can't wait to see what your project will be.
I'll try not to disappoint. Back then, there were so many people in that club. Which is true. There were a lot of people in the community back in the day. Unfortunately, a lot of those people that were back in the community then are no longer around. But their contributions can still be felt to this very day. I can't remember the names of everyone, but a few stood out from the crowd. I wonder how much of the past I even remember. Monica did set my laptop originally with all the things I needed. I had an idea for a project that later on had me questioning my project writing abilities. So for those of you who don't know, Weiss is very self-conscious when it comes to the things that he makes and the things that he writes. It's mainly one of the reasons why he had a hard time releasing this mod and releasing all the things he made in the past. He's very sensitive to the criticism he takes for certain things he makes. It doesn't believe he's capable of making anything people really care about. A project that acted differently from what others expected. A project where your choices actually mattered. So I believe this is a reference to Weiss's original project, The True Reality, in which case Weiss actually tried to do a thing where your choices actually did matter, with some, I'm trying to remember exactly how he phrased it, but basically it was like random generated choices, and the variables that were tied to each choice actually persisted through the entirety of the story. So you actually had different endings and different permutations of different endings you could get based on the choices you made throughout the story. It was a pretty ambitious idea, I would say. And in terms of making choices where things you do matter, I would say it's actually pretty cool. Unfortunately, it didn't take off the way Weiss thought it would, and unfortunately, it wasn't as well received as Weiss hoped it would be. But I think the idea in itself is rather novel. At the time, I thought the idea I had would be very innovative. But in reality, all that I did was turn the project into a headache. While I worked on my project, I was able to take a look at what the other people in the club were working on. From what I can remember, Monica was busy writing some story about the past. Now, I don't know what Cappy Carl's contribution was to the modding community back then. If anybody wants to leave a contribution to that in the comment section, I'd be happy to look into that. Natsuki, who I met later in the club, was managing her project about herself. Now, if I had to remember correct, if I would assume, I would assume Natsuki is supposed to be kind of, Now, I'm not actually sure. based on this line here, I'm led to believe that Natsuki is Wretched Team, or at least the beginnings of Wretched Team, because the original Exit music, I believe, came out around this time. So this is what I'm led to believe, but at this point, I'm not exactly sure. There could also have been other Natsuki-related projects about this time. But if I had to assume a Natsuki-based project that happened around 2018, that would have to be Exit music, and that would have to be what's being mentioned here. Sayori was doing a project about expanding a universe like an addition equation. Okay, so this person, Sayori, is supposed to represent Logocast, based on the hierarchy of the club and what happens, and based on events that happen later on in the story. And Yuri was directing more of a story toward her thoughts on surrealism. Now, Yuri, from my understanding, is supposed to be another DDMC moderator, well, former DDMC moderator by the name of Tormuse. This is based off the context I've seen of things that happen later on in this mod. Now, if I'm wrong on any of this, you could feel free to correct me. I'd have no problem with people setting the record straight. But based on my understanding of the events here, this is what I'm led to believe is the case. Everyone else's projects were more of a blur, or more of an blur. Not a blur, an blur. More than anything else. The environment was a bit chaotic at times. I think I can recall a recurring issue that both Natsuki and Yuri had with Monica. I forget what they were arguing about, but it seems it wasn't just them that had these issues with Monica's leadership. Oh, well, this part's interesting. Monica, we need to talk.
What is it now, Natsuki?
It's about you, Monica. Seriously, you need to get a grip on this club. Ever since we left our positions, everything has been going to heck.
Okay, so this seems Now, timeline-wise, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I'm gonna go with it for now.
Really? Yes, Monica. I can say for certain that you are performing inadequately in this place. Tell me, how am I making this place so inadequate?
Well, first off, you placed all these limits on what people can do in the club. You're causing people to have less fun here with what's possible than what was possible before.
Additionally, you are still acting in a way that ended with us leaving our positions in protest.
Well, if you aren't happy with how...
I'm sorry?
Well, if you aren't happy with how I'm doing things, why don't you go make a club of your own? You're free to stay here and follow the rules, or make another coding club of your own. Oh, don't worry. We've been playing that for a while now.
Okay, now, if memory serves, this was around the time I joined DDMC and the like, because I started playing DDLC mods back in 2020, like September of 2020. When I joined, there was another DDMC of sorts that was created called the Literature Modding Club. Now, that was made by Tormuse and a few other people that I think Tormuse, Kronos, Illy, and like a few other people that I know about at the time. I didn't know them. I didn't know them personally, but I knew of them. So when I joined this place back in like September, October, when I played Exit Music Redux for the first time, that was when this was still going on. Unfortunately, it wasn't until like around maybe November of that year where the Literature Modding Club was no more because of some drama that happened with Illy and a bunch of other shit that was going on. So that leads me to believe why. So based on what I know, based on my time in DDMC, I believe that's what this is referencing here.
Then why are you still complaining? We just like to, and want to tell everyone how bad of a club president you are.
And for the looks of this makes like Tormuse and them look so fucking spiteful to Carl. But I guess maybe that's how Weiss sees this, or this is how Weiss remembers these events as they happen. Because at the same time, this was This was, like I said, this was back in 2020, so about 3 years ago at this point. But who's to say that this wasn't how the conversation went? I wasn't there when this happened. So for all we know, this could have been how it went, and we didn't know. But based on what I've figured, this makes these people seem very spiteful, and something tells me that that may not be exactly the case.
Anyway, thanks for the idea, Monica. Even though we came up with it already. We'll be seeing you later.
As she said, have a good, yet not so good day, Monica. Fuck you.
What is it with these people? Saying I managed to club badly. Oh, really? No one else except you two have discussed these problems. Let's see how you two handle your club, especially with the resources I have. Let me just revoke your access to the server, and there we go. You two no longer have access to it. Good luck trying to get the tools for yourselves.
Alright, sorry about that. Got caught up in a lot of stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the story.
Monica, you realize that you uploaded those tools to Access, not the server, right? What? I did? Yeah. Dang it!
After they left the club, they formed their new coding club the next school day. This goes back to what I said about literature modding club. I recall seeing Natsuki and Yuri passing out flyers for their new club, but it seems everyone knew Monica's club was more their style. Translation, most people were going to leave DDMC to go be a part of LMC, which I did get to see firsthand. Like, the numbers for LMC compared to DDMC they were so drastic, it wasn't even funny. They tried to continue this tactic for about 2 weeks before they gave up and returned back to Monica and her club. Monica did have a chance to have the last laugh, but she didn't and let it slide. After that, there was the occasional argument, but there was nothing compared to the one Natsuki and Yuri had. Or at least, that is what past me would have said. For now, I was just working on my project despite those minor disturbances, and I was making some decent progress. I had converted around 8 small chapters of my Word document over to code, which is almost 2/3 of the project as a whole. Okay. Decent sized project. I made a few errors and design flaws when making the first demo, but I managed to address them decently well. At this point, however, I realized that I was in front of a wall. The wall in particular was to have a character created. I went through many different artists at the time and gathered their costs for making my character the way I wanted her to be. However, the worst was yet to come. Finding artists was the easy part. The hardest part was to pay the artist. This was the biggest issue out of everything, and it took almost 2 months before I could even get my character started. Now, this, I believe has to also do with the true reality, the reason why we're going to see it in just a little bit here. All this was because of one person. One person that happens to be in my family. In particular, that is. And now we've reached the Spanish portion of the mod. Now I will try my best. I will try my best to read the Spanish as well as I can. Oye, papa. ¿Qué pasa, hijo? Now, for those of you who don't know, I believe this is the father from Within, and he was released for free to use for the public. So I guess Weiss took it upon himself to use this father sprite. According to Weiss, the reason why is because this sprite reminds him of not only his own father, but Jacques Schnee, the father of Weiss Schnee from Ruby. Yeah, and yes, in case you didn't know, Weiss got his name because he loves to be referred to as Weiss Schnee from Ruby. the show created by Rooster Teeth and Monty Ohm. Pues estoy trabajando en un proyecto ahorita. Este proyecto es un proyecto en que puedo cambiar la forma en que se juega este juego y ahora mismo está atascado en una sesión de mi trabajo. ¿Cuál es el problema? Well, shouldn't it be cuál es la problema? Oh well. Necesito que le pegues a un artista para que pueda crear un personaje para mi proyecto. Revise algunos para obtener sus precios y los reduje a dos. ¿Qué es esta personaje? Ella es un personaje a mi proyecto que es la villana principal de mi historia. Entiendo. ¿Cuánto va a costar a ella? Pues un artista me dijo que ella lo puede hacer por 85. So basically what's going on here, for those of you who don't understand, is... Actually, let me go to history and explain this. So basically what's going on here, if you don't understand, is that Weiss is going to his father and is talking about wanting his dad to help pay to get a sprite made for his project. And he said he narrowed it down for 2 artists, and the dad asked, well, who's this character? I understand. How much is gonna cost? ¿Y la otra artista? La otra artista me dijo que ella lo puede hacer por 50. Okay, so the first artist would do it for 85. The second artist is going to do it for 50. ¿Qué tan buenos son los artistas para lo que necesitas? Aquí. Estas 2 piezas son una buena comparación de su trabajo. So they both do good work for about the same price. They're both pretty comparable for the same work. I show my dad my phone with the image of both artists. Los dos parecían los mismo a mí. They both look the same to me. ¿Piensas venderla una vez que la artista la termine? Do you plan on selling her when the artist is done? Sí. Está bien. Lo pensaré que loco y luego te haré saber mi decisión. Okay. I'll think about it a little and I'll tell you my decision later. Whenever my dad says, lo pensaré un poco, I will think about it a little, he really means that he will be putting it aside until later. And obviously, I wasn't going to sell her. That was against the rules of modding at the time. But I knew he wasn't going to do so if I said it wasn't for my financial gain. His dad was like, yeah, because what loser pays money for something that they're not going to make money off of? Either way, I was finally able to tell him what I needed. And after some reminders, we sat down and paid the second artist so my character can be started. I was pretty excited when I was able to draft her out. Though I must admit, I did have some dumb decisions when it came to who she was based on. While I waited for the artist to finish her, I took on another project to the side which would change most of what our own club was making. I had a bit of coding burnout at the time, so I thought doing something else would have kept me at bay. That's when I realized something about what was being given out to the club in order to create these works. Okay, so this is Weiss talking about his magnum opus, the thing he's known for, the DDMC modding template. Basically, this is Weiss saying, I came to the realization that the template that Camping Carl gave out all that time ago, or maybe LogoCast, but Camping Carl gave out all that time ago, just wasn't up to snuff. So I think it's about that time I do something to change that. Hey, Sayori.
Hey, Killin. Having fun so far?
Yeah, just had a question.
What is it?
How exactly can I delete the character files in my project?
Oh, that's easy to do. Just copy this function from the game over to your code.
There didn't even be a comma there, by the way. Weiss... Oh, I got the Weiss brain rot. I got the Weiss brain rot. Sayori sent me a file to my computer that contained the code I need in order to progress. Wait. Isn't this featured in the original game to begin with?
Yeah. The game uses it a bit as you progress.
Then, why didn't Hanaka not include it in the sample project that we do?
Well, Monica didn't really do it. Someone did it for her.
Someone else in the club did it for her?
Someone outside the club.
Well, I guess that explains a few things. Thanks for the help, Sayori. I shouldn't take up the rest of your time.
No worries. Just let me or anyone else in the club know if you need any help.
Thanks. When I realized that the sample project was missing this crucial function in the game, my mind started to wonder. Or is it wander? He said my mind started to wander. Okay. Alright. Not wondering, wandering. Why was certain things from the original game not included in this? If this was meant to be a project where you could mod the game to your heart's content, surely you would include everything from it. Well, you would think so, but I guess people had different thoughts at the time. I decided to look at the sample project in depth and found a bunch of critical game functions that were missing within it. What kind of person did Monica work with to make this? Well, whoever it was, I decided it would be best to just recreate it and see if it was of use to anyone. Now, I don't know who helped make the original modding template before Weiss showed up. But apparently somebody outside the community did. If any of the old heads back in 2018 want to help educate me on this, then feel free to do so. It took me a few days to fix, but at the end, I was able to add all the missing pieces in the sample project and release it publicly on Atsys. I wonder if there's an actual place called Atsys or if they're talking about GitHub. That same day, I presented my work over to Monica to see how she would react. Hey Monica, I wanted to show you something.
Hi, Killin. What did you want to show me?
Well, you see, I noticed that the sample project that you had been handing over to us lacked a few things from the original game. So I decided to do some work and bring them over to it, and now it looks like we have the original game in our hands. I have to admit, the way this is written by somebody who doesn't have that strong of a grasp on English. Like, they have a good grasp, because, I mean, this is written by somebody who knows English, but just not somebody who's very strong at writing clear sentences. I was wondering if we could start using this over what we have, or, well, combine both works together and I could continue further work on it.
Huh, interesting. So what was missing to begin with?
There was character deletion, a few scripts, special acts, and responses, and an Easter egg. And I went as far as to update the code to the latest release of the game, so we could have a closer copy to it than before.
I see. Well, everything you've done looks great. Though, if we're going to combine your work with the one we use, that won't work out.
Why?
Well, the issue I have with yours at the moment is the acting minigame.
The poem minigame.
Yours changes.
Yours changes. I'm like, oh, okay. Never mind.
yours changes the way we had originally written it, and I prefer that we kept it the way how it was before.
I want to say that's the right form of yours, but just something about it is just throwing me off. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because missing an apostrophe. I'm not sure. Okay. So because you wish to keep a acting, not an acting, a acting game that doesn't relate to the actual game over using one that is, you don't want to combine my work with yours?
Yeah, I would gladly accept it, but that's the only thing that's preventing me from doing so.
You do know this one of them caused confusion between... You do know that one of them caused confusion between sample projects. Are you really sure you want to?
Qilin, I said no, okay?
Suit yourself. Really? All of this for one file? A file over a simple mechanic? You've got to be kidding me, Monica. You'd rather keep your proprietary non-game based minigame over the game's own with very in-depth explanations. I also believe you misspelled explanations there, but... It seems clear that you aren't going to change the things in your sample project. I was gonna say I thought I was gonna say change the things you do in your sample project, but guess I'm going to be the one to take the torch. So basically, Weiss just became a maverick and just kept working on the template behind Camping Carl's back. I went back home with my laptop in one hand and disappointment in the other. I placed my things onto my desk and popped down in my chair and opened up my laptop and launching Visual Code Enterprise. Otra vez en la computadora. My dad suddenly walks in on me, expressing his constant frustration with me being on my computer. He's like, "Again with that computer? Ugh. ¿Por qué no puedes hacer nada excepto estar frente a esta pantalla and jugar?" It's like, all you do is sit here in front of your screen. It's like, why don't you do? The only thing you do is sit here on your screen and play video games. What's up with that? Why don't you go outside and touch some grass? Go feel the sun on your face. Go touch some girls. Papa, ¿cuántas veces tengo de decirte que no está fuck. Papa, ¿cuántas veces tengo que decirte que no estoy jugando? Estoy trabajando a mis proyectos. Así dices. Ya sé qué estás haciendo, Qilin. Siempre piensas eso cuando me siento aquí. Te digo que no estoy jugando. Estoy codificando el proyecto en el que he estado trabajando. The basically say is like, I'm not playing. You always think every time you come here, you always think I'm playing video games. I'm not playing video games. I'm actually coding a project that I'm working on. ¿Un proyecto de la escuela? No, el proyecto que te dije muy antes. This is the project we talked about before. Or the project I told you about before. Oh, eso. Bien. Continúa con lo que estabas haciendo. Porque si te veo jugando uno de estos juegos hoy, no habrá una computadora para ti por un tiempo. Entiendo. He's like, you can keep working on your project, but if I catch you playing one of those video games, I catch you playing one of those damn games, I'm taking your computer. You won't have a computer for a long time. You understand? See. My dad walks out of my room and I slump down and put my head down on my desk. Ugh, no matter what I do, he always seems upset about anything I personally choose to do. And he is always ticked off whenever I'm on my computer doing anything. Sometimes I just want to bang my head on my desk, just be transported to another world. Now, see, this is the Weiss has daddy issues portion of the mod. Here's Weiss expressing his daddy issues to the whole wide world. about just wanting to be free from the oppressive father who just doesn't understand me, doesn't understand my life struggles. Now, I'm not going to say that there isn't any merit to that. It does feel really, it's a really crappy feeling when you try to do something in life that you want to do and your parents try to make you feel bad about that because they simply don't understand what it is that you're trying to do. Unfortunately, most people don't care about those problems that you have. These are kind of things you either have to keep to yourself or really talk to people who actually have a vested interest in caring about your well-being and wanting you to succeed. Because for the most part, if people who don't know you see this, they're just going to think you're a fucking crybaby. And they wouldn't be that far off to think that. I shouldn't let him get in my way, though. I have my story to finish and my work to do. I also believe this is the last time the dad shows up, so that's going to be the last Spanish segment that we have in the story. I pull out my notepad, which contains a few suggestions people in the club had voiced and my own from comparing what we have to the original game. A few suggestions were stuff that I already incorporated into my sample project. Others had some odd ideas. And the rest were things that were interesting to add to the game. And thus, with my notes in hand and my keyboard at the ready, I started writing something that will later grow into something I didn't imagine seeing in my future. So we have Hanaka. I don't know who Hanaka's supposed to be. My only guess is Hanaka was a former member of the community that's not around anymore. Now, if someone would like to tell me who Hanaka is based on the context of the scene here, then please enlighten me.
Hey, Sari, take a look at this. Oh? What do you have this time, Hanaka? I found this sample project online that has a lot more things going on for it than for the game than what we have. Somehow they added the dialogue that went somehow they added the things that went missing and added a new way to say dialogue. It's almost like we're playing the game again. Huh, that's pretty cool. Think we should tell the others about it? Yeah, but aren't Mio and the others working on some pose thing? The mod pose tool or whatever it's called?
Okay, so in this case, I know Mio is Kronos because, or it could be Yaga Mirai. Because based on all the credits you've seen, it was Kronos and Yaga Mirai that were responsible for making the mod posing tool. It could be Yaga Mirai, but I truly believe that this is Chrono Shag who Mio is supposed to represent here.
Yeah, I heard it would require us to upgrade the game in order to use it, though. Upgrading? That's gonna be a lot of work for us to do, even use just what she's making. Yeah, I like the concept she's going for, but I share the same concerns you have about it.
Huh. So Mia was making a pose tool. I remember her talking about using an old tool from the distribution kit we have, but I guess she wants to use something newer now. Though hearing Hanaka and Sayori talk about the concerns of Mio's tool is something interesting.
Though, wouldn't Monica be able to ask who made our sample project to do something to make the process easier? I wouldn't know, to say the least.
Aha! The opportunity has come. Yes. Knowing Monica isn't really keen to change her sample project, this may be a good way to step in. Hey, what's up? Hello. Saw your pretty faces when I walked through the door. Are you two talking about Mio's pose tool?
It's mod posing tool. Get your facts straight. I think he meant if we were talking about that. Sorry. Anyway, yes, we were. Did it pique your interest?
A bit. You two were talking about it needing an upgrade. Or needing a upgrade. Not an upgrade, a upgrade.
Yeah, apparently this pose tool requires a special feature that isn't present in the game's engine. I think it was called Lay People!
Oh no.
What? Why aren't you staring at me like that?
Repeat what you just said. Right now.
Laid people?
Exactly.
You should think before you speak, Sayori. I'm sorry, I got too excited about Mio's work that I wanted to say it. I know, Sayori, I know. Anyway, as I was saying, Mio's tool requires a thing called image layers, not laid people.
So image layers. Basically, if you know anything about Photoshop, GIMP, Krita, Clip Studio Paint, any sort of image developing, painting, graphical software, or Procreate, basically anything like that. If you know anything about those programs, you know what image layers are, and you know how they work. That's basically what MPT is. They take the basic concept of all those different programs I just mentioned, throw it into a DDLC mod.
It's a thing that supposedly allows you to have many small images and be able to use a mix of them to create a new design for that character.
Oh, sounds interesting.
The only problem is that no one has ever attempted an upgrade process but her, so it's a bit confusing trying to figure out how to do it. We were thinking of telling Monica that,
Oh, naturalmente, buddy, my friend, don't worry about it. No need to do that. I could try implementing support from that version engine. Or from that engine version, rather.
wait, you can? Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Nothing a bit of brain sweat can't do. It might take me a few days, but it should make it a bit more streamlined.
That sounds exciting. I wish you luck in doing so. Mio's going to be happy to see this once it's done. Where can I see the code when you finished?
It will be on my Atsys. Here, let me show you it. I grabbed Sanka's laptop and directed it over to my Atsys page. There it is.
Wait, you're the one making that sample project?
Mm-hmm. You seen already?
Yeah, we were just talking about it a moment ago.
I see. That's what I get for being too focused into something.
By the way, how are things going with you and how are things going with your part of Finite Adventures?
It's going decent. I have 2/3 of the script done for it.
Oh, that's good to hear. Can't wait to see your script once it's done.
Thanks. You'll be surprised. At the time, I got myself involved in more projects than just my own. Hanaka's Finite Adventures was just one of the many projects I've decided to volunteer in to learn and do something outside of my actual project. Hanaka's Finite Adventures. Okay, I don't know what mod this is, but whatever mod this is referring to will tell us who Hanaka is supposed to be. So if anyone could help me figure out who or what mod this is supposed to be referring to, please say so in the comment section. I wrote what I thought was a funny script regarding the characters and OC she made. I finished writing that script a few days after I published a new sample project update, and she liked it a lot. Back to the topic of the sample project, I finished that the next day and many people started to use it. Both Mio and I released 2 things that changed how those members worked on our projects. One added more expressions, and one became a so-called skeleton for the game. At some point, people who came into the club were given the stuff Monica prepared were already switching to what I made by word of mouth. Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, that stuff Monica made, it's shite. It's shite. Don't even bother using it. That new shit that the Kinder Block made, you know, that JQilin way over yonder, eh? That's that good shite, mate. That's that good. It'll get you proper, not a. Go use that shit now, Cobber. Monica was getting clueless about what everyone else was doing, and was starting to have issues trying to figure this stuff out. She came to me asking if I would be a member of the club's management team, and after being persuaded by the others, I became a part of it. So apparently because Weiss was so much better at at doing Carl's job. And plus, and because Weiss became known for making the mod template, Kevin Carl was like, "Say, Weiss, do you want to become part of the moderation team, and spread the goodwill of DDMC to all the happy little boys and girls of the internet?" Mia was also invited in, given that she was the one who made the mod posing tool. Okay, if that's the case, then I think Mio's actually Yaga Mirai instead of Kronos. Kronos did help make the mod posing tool, but I don't remember Kronos being a part of the moderation staff. We both guided the new people to on how to upgrade the use of the new tools, and I think after some time, Monica finally realized that change was needed. Okay, Jaden, now tab into that Python block and type import platform.
Like this?
Perfect. Now this.
Hey, Kilin.
Excuse me, Jaden. This shouldn't take long.
No worries, Kilin. Take your time.
I stand up from the floor and approach Monica. Hey, Monica, something up?
Well, I want to apologize for what I told you those months ago. I'm sorry for being a big fat bitch. Your work is currently great, and everyone has been using it so much more that I've been starting to give them your sample project more than my own. You and Mio changed a landscape that I didn't see up until this point, and I was wrong to assume what I thought.
Well, Monica, to be honest, I completely understand where you're coming from and why you chose to think that way. You were just trying to keep things traditional for everyone.
Kilin, what do you think I should do?
In regards to what?
In regards to this club.
Well, I'm not good at fitting into other people's shoes, but I think I know an easy answer to what she's asking me. I think you should just let them expand their creativity and let them do what they want. Guide them to a new era of this game's adventure. Let's show them the new way of making projects with what we have now. After talking to Monica, I went back to help Jaden, and it was then that I saw Monica be someone different. The next day, she told everyone that we have moved to a new stage of the club's life, and that we should take potential of it. To make what we wanted to come to life. So because Weiss had a talk with Carl about what people should do, it seemed like Carl had an eye-opening experience and decided to make DDMC something where more people could have fun and make exactly what they wanted to make. And this is at the point of time where I could see Weiss really had the best interest of DDMC at heart. And just really wanted to make this a place where everybody had a chance to express who they are, what they wanted to do, and what they wanted to make. So, from this, I can really tell that, at least at this point in time, Weiss really does care about this place. And for all that it could be, and for all that it's worth. Everyone cheered her on, and everyone had started producing more content that differed in tone by a lot. We had projects like Red Lakes, Enter Writing, Quietness, Fallen. Okay, so this is either Red Sky or Blue Skies. This is Exit Music. I don't know what this is. This is Fallen Angel. Fallness? When I thought the club was growing for the better, it was at this point that everything changed for me. The club was no longer the place I remembered it as. I couldn't do anything to stop the change. All these things from the past. They all came falling down like dominoes. They all came tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down.
Welcome, everybody. Ready for yet another day of making your dream stories come true? I don't have any announcements to make in regards to this, but if you need me, just let Killen know, okay?
Now, what I find weird is that if you need anything from me, let this other guy know. Don't come to me directly. Let this guy know, then he's gonna come to me. I don't like that. I think if you're gonna say if you need anything from you, be available for the people that need something from you.
Without further ado, the club is now in session.
It was then that a tall blonde woman came into the room. That woman was none other than Miss Ida, the principal of the school. So Miss Ida, to my understanding, is supposed to represent Team Salvato. I mean, if the allegories weren't already clear, because I'll be honest with you, Weiss wasn't really trying to be that nuanced in hiding anything. It's pretty obvious about who's supposed to represent who and what's supposed to represent what. But just in case I need to explain anything for anybody, I will be happy to do so. Monica turned towards the door to see who it was, and she looked like something fell inside of her when she saw Miss Ida in the room.
Miss Ida, welcome. Is there something you need from me? Yes. I request to speak to Representative Killen in order to discuss some things.
Me?
Surely you're mistaken, Miss Ida. Killen hasn't done anything wrong, nor has he tasked to handle school matters for the club yet.
Miss Ida barely changes her mood. You could tell that she meant who she meant to call. It's okay, Monica. I'll go. I walk out of the classroom and proceed to stand at a pillar in the corridor before Miss Ida closes the door and walks me down the hallway. Given everyone's looks at the club, everyone seems to be worried about me. I don't know what's going on. Why me out of everyone else? There was no way I was going to figure that out without talking to Miss Ida directly. Miss Ida walks me towards an empty classroom on the second floor and opens the door for me. I walk in and Miss Ida follows suit before she closes the door, leaving the two of us where we are.
I'm aware that you are one of Monica's representatives in the coding club, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware of the stuff your club members have been doing?
Yes, everyone has been following the rules and the rules we set inside the club.
Then care to explain why begin complaints that people in your club are stealing stuff?
The club members? Stealing stuff? Nani? I think you're mistaken. We aren't stealing stuff from anyone.
I'm not talking about the school. I'm talking about your club's projects. Some people have been sending us cease and desist letters in regards to some of them. Fallenness contains art from protected works. Enter Writing has music from a licensed band without a license.
So Fallen Angel had copywritten art. Exit Music had Radiohead music.
Who knows how many more will be coming through my inbox. I don't know what it is you guys do in there, but if you can't get this resolved, I'll have no choice but to shut down the club and remove all the projects the club has ever made.
No! Please don't do that. I'll take care of the situation, I promise. Now, my question is, maybe this is Weiss trying to explain things a bit differently than how it actually happened, but if this isn't the case, and all this happened to Weiss, my question is, why did Team Salvato come to Weiss about this directly, and not the actual admin of the club, like Camping Carl? Especially as Camping Carl said that Weiss was not supposed to be handling this stuff. My only guess as to why this is the case is, Team Salvato looked in the code and saw that Weiss was the one who made all the templates and stuff. And they looked at the chats and saw that everyone was building mods on top of Weiss's template. So they figured Weiss would be the. I guess they figured that reason Weiss would be the one to go to, since Weiss was more involved with stuff at the time and making the template that everybody used. That would be my only guess as to why they went to Weiss of all people. But other than that, it doesn't really make any sense.
Will you?
Yes, the club matters a bunch to me, as it does to everyone else. Just give me some time to come up with something.
Okay then. I'll leave all the club matters to you. You have 2 weeks to come up with something. You're dismissed.
Thank you. I promise I'll figure something out. I get up and open the door, proceeding back towards the club. I can't stop but fathom what the current situation is. We almost risk club expulsion over some of our members' decisions and their projects. I thought the club had some common sense in the world not to do these things. Well, you know, maybe they didn't think about it at the time. Like, you're like, well, I mean, people use music that they don't use in like YouTube videos and stuff like that. I don't see what it would be like if we did this for DDLC mods. You know, the protections would be different and stuff and the like and such. Of course, you could argue that they should have read the Team Salvato IP guidelines before they did such a thing, but hey. Maybe they had a different interpretation of things, or perhaps they never read the guidelines in the first place, and that's what got them landed in the situation that they're in right now. Or at least right here in terms of the story. Yet it seems that I was wrong, and somehow things had to change one way or another. As I approach the club, the only thing on my mind now is to have a discussion with the team about this. But what was I going to tell them? What will be my course of action here? All these things, yet I have no answer to them right now. When I returned to the club, everyone started looking in my direction. Guess they were waiting for me to come back while they were coding up their projects.
Kellen, is everything alright? Did Miss Ina tell you why she called you?
Monica, Sayori, Mio, can I see you outside in private?
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mio. Follow Kellen, will you?
I walk Monica, Sayori, and Mio over to a nearby classroom. Ladies, could you please have a seat? The girls nod as they sit down while I approach the lectern. So, Miss Ida told me that the school has been receiving is misspelled, some not so pleasant letters about our club as of late. Apparently, a few people have sent her complaints that the people who made Fallenness and Enter Writing have used some of their works without permission. What should we do regarding these things? Miss Ida wants a course of action from us in 2 weeks.
Wow. This is a first for me. We haven't really paid attention to what kinds of stuff people are using in their works.
Nor could you, really, because you're not a part of the development teams for all these people making their projects. Nor do you really have the capacity to analyze all these different projects that all these people are making. Because there are only so few of you, and so many projects being made day in and day out. Unless you want to get little moles or golfers to just go through the files and snitch on people for you. But wait, people do that in DDMC now anyway.
I guess we should start enforcing a credits file and look at each project for issues. Yeah, but how are we going to check every project for this sort of thing? For all we know, there are tons of projects out there, and that's going to take forever to do. Plus, having people who made them stop coming to the club.
Which is true.
That is true. I just don't see how we're going to manage all this easily. Miss Ina isn't going to be feeding us all the letters.
Jeez Louise. Okay, so Mia's finally talking.
Don't worry, Monica. I think I have an idea. Huh? You do? Yes. Da. I think I should be in charge of looking at each project for content problems. I know a way to trace which asset goes back to. So I think it shouldn't be a problem that I can't handle. You would do that for us, Mio? But isn't there like 200 something projects out already? That's gonna take you forever. No, comrade, it's okay. I know how to do these things efficiently as possible.
Or as efficiently as possible, but okay. You sure you want to do this, Mio? It's a lot for just one person.
I appreciate the concern, Comrade Gillen, but do not worry. I can handle it. Plus, if I need help, I can always rely on you three. Isn't that right? Oh yeah, I can help. I can see to giving you some assistance.
Translation, get one of the lackeys to do it. I can't be bothered to do that myself. Well, alright. I guess that solves things. For now. But what about enter writing and fallness?
We'll start by telling them about the issues and remove the projects from the club's site for the time being. Give them some time to fix, and if it's all good, they can add it back.
Sounds like a plan. Do you two agree with Mio's idea? Monica and Siren face me and nod their heads. Well then, let's get this thing on a roll then. We went back to the club to close off on a good note. When I was walking home, Mio texted me about checking a project for potential issues. I was alright with doing it, so I sent a reply back, download the project and decompiled it to check for issues. Oh, okay. Papa comes back one more time. It was at this moment, however, he knew. He fucked up. The man of the house in my life, mi vida, came into my room. ¿Qué estás haciendo en tu laptop? Estoy viendo a un proyecto. Estoy comprobando si han estado usando arte robado y otras cosas. Siempre tiene que ser algo que estés haciendo en esa cosa. Déjame vivir. No me interrumpas. Soy tu padre. Okay, now I need to remember what this was about. Okay, now this is, now if I remember correctly, this is about the dad. This is what I'm seeing here, like, when you do your laptop, work on a project, and dad's like, you know, you're always working on projects and stuff. What about your homework? What about your schoolwork and stuff like that? And then Weiss is like, oh, but I already finished my homework, Dad. And he's like, no, don't you interrupt me. I'm your father. You can't be interrupting me. Nunca lo consigues, ¿verdad? ¿Por qué no puedes cambiar de esta mentalidad que has tenido durante muchos años? He's like, you never understand. It's like, you never follow me, you never understand, right? Why is it that you never changed your attitude about what I do during the years? Siempre tiene que ser juegos cuando se trata de esa tecnología, ¿verdad? So you always think I'm playing games when I'm on a computer, or using technology. Está bien. Entonces, si vas a actuar de esta manera, te voy a desconectar el internet de tu cuarto. So basically saying, if that's if this is the case, he's like, very well then, I'll believe you, but if you're not telling me the truth, if you're BSing me here, I'm gonna disconnect the internet from your room. You're gonna be without internet for a while, Mr. Comprende? Eso es lo que pensé. Eso es lo que pensé. Ahora, termina lo que estás haciendo y haz otra cosa. Once my dad finished his lecture, he proceeds to head downstairs and head outside. ¿Por qué nuestros padres, Frara, pueden cambiar? Despite my dad's outlandish behavior, I was able to check the project for stuff and just laid down in bed watching TV. So the dad has a problem with him being on his computer playing video, thinking he's playing video games. But apparently dad doesn't mind him watching TV. You know, apparently that's kosher. That's cool. That's cool. Watching TV, that's cool. But being on your computer, coding a mod, nah. You might be playing video games, and that shit ain't right. Mio sent a reply back thanking me and left my phone alone until the next day. In my head, I thought that our plan would have fixed the issues going on at the club. I mean, it was a pretty simple concept. We take a look at released projects for issues, and if we find one, we talk to the member the next day. We tell them about the issues in their projects, let them fix it, and as Mio said, if all is good, they can release it back to the site. Which, Weiss has been true to his word, even to this day. When this kind of thing happens, Weiss has been pretty cool about it. I'll give Weiss credit for that. The idea worked wonders for many projects. However, for following this and into writing, they were a completely different story. Once we told them about what was going on, they differed in response compared to everyone else. It was at this point that I knew it was going to be as easy as it appeared to be. It took years before the members who wrote into writing fixed all the music problems. Okay, so I take back what I said earlier about the Natsuki thing. I don't know what mod Natsuki would have been working on at the time if Weiss is talking about exit music right now. Unless what happened is that they wrote exit music back then, and only now were the issues with exit music being addressed. With how much time they had, someone could have made a better version of it without the issues that Miss Ida reported to us. Damn. At the end of the day, however, they managed to fix the project. Following this, however, just refused to change, and the member left, sparking yet another coding club that barely lasted for a while. Okay, so Noah left after Fallen Angel and then just tried to make his own coding club. Didn't know that. And after that, Noah just kind of peaced out from DDMC and altogether. They ranted outside about how bad our club was, how we were dictators of sorts, limiting freedom of expression in their works. I was just unenthusiastic about it, but with how constantly they were doing this, not to mention lying to us that they had their project fixed, it was wearing me out a lot. Thanks to Mio's help with her newly made document of free resources, however, many projects were able to be fixed with no problems. And later, more people came in and released even more stuff for people to use, which had caused our main concern to be reduced quite a lot. Yeah, it certainly is nice when people have their own free will just give you a bunch of resources for free that you didn't have to pay for to make. But even when one situation seems to have resolved itself, another just seems to sneak in and repeat the cycle once again. But this situation, however, or rather these situations, was something that would have never expected to occur in our club. The loss of many club members due to student code of conduct violations. I was once again called back to the classroom to meet with Miss Ida. I thought it was going to be a normal discussion about our club's work and how we were handling things. However, as I approached her, the look on her face shows no pleasure in what's coming next. Good afternoon, Miss Ida. Is there something I could help you with?
Yes. Is Kodonoa Shiri in your club?
Kodonoa? Yeah, she is. She's been working on Purple Diamonds. So, a little backstory about this. Purple Diamonds is Emerald Hearts, and Kodonoa in this case is supposed to represent a Mari. Mari was a member of the community back in the day who was outed for being a pedophile. Again, another pedophile. You could learn more about this from Savage's video he made called Predators of the Community. But for now, just know that this is a person who is accused of being a pedophile. They're accused of grooming somebody who's actually fairly known in DDMC to this day. All this is public information. So it's not like I'm saying anything that people don't know about. Be that as it may, that's just the case. That's the case going on here of what's being referred to. Is there something going on in relation to her?
Yes, I'm here to tell you that unfortunately, she will no longer be attending your club's meetings.
Huh? Why?
She has been expelled for breaking the school code of conduct.
Wait, what'd she do?
She brought a knife to school. A kitchen knife to be exact.
Now, here's a little backstory about this part. This was supposed to be a gun. Konoha was supposed to have brought a gun to school, and that's why she got expelled. But Weiss changed his mind at the last minute because Weiss doesn't live that far from Uvalde, Texas, and the last major school shooting happened in Uvalde. So because of that, for some reason, Weiss decided to change it from a gun to a kitchen knife. Now, I think this was a last minute change, and you're going to see why in just a little bit here. A knife? What was she thinking?
Your guess is as good as mine. She claims that was for food, but obviously, the knife was too big for any meal I see students eat on campus. With that being carried through the halls in secret, and what's been going on in the world, you never know what will happen if it ever gets taken out.
Now this is why I said this was a last minute thing. Because look at why Miss Ida says what's been going on in the world. That doesn't make a lot of sense if you're talking about a knife, but if you're talking about a gun, it makes a lot more sense because what's been going on in the world, translation, Uvalde school shooting and all the school shootings happened in the past. It would make more sense if they were talking about a gun in this case, but because there was a last minute change to a knife, it's like, it does not compute. Feels pretty strange.
Assault, murder, self-harm, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Is she in the club right now?
Yeah?
Then get her out of there. She can't be in the club if she's expelled.
What about her works?
Obviously, she can't work on it, and given her expulsion reason, her stuff, if she released any, should be removed.
Well, that's fair. You know, if you find out that your community member is a pedophile, you may not want things associated with a pedophile to be out there publicly. It may not be a good look for the community and the school as a whole.
I see.
I guess I'll let everybody else know.
Thank you. I know this is a first for you all, but sometimes things have to happen like this.
For change to occur. I understand. I'll take care of it.
Seriously, Konoha? A kitchen knife?
You're like, seriously, Konoha? A gun? Have you lost your damn mind? I understand bringing a knife in order to prepare your food, but who thought grabbing such a knife was reasonably okay? Whatever the reason is, you don't have to... Whatever reason you have doesn't discount the truth of the matter. Guess I'll have to break the news to Monica about her.
Hey, Kellen. How are things?
There should be a question mark there, but oh well. Not great. Come with me.
Huh? Well, okay.
Again, why didn't they go to Camping Carl about this? Why was Carl so bad at his fucking job that they had to go to somebody else who wasn't even head admin of the server to do this? I don't understand. This was a trend of DDMC back then, and it's a trend of DDMC now. The people who are at the top are so fucking bad at their jobs that people have to go to other people to get stuff done. And even then, sometimes stuff doesn't get done. Apparently, if you're a pedophile, will things get done. Other than that, you're on your own. Fuck you. I walk Monica out of the club and walk a few meters down the hall to an area where no one can eavesdrop.
What's going on?
It's Kodonoa. She's been expelled from the school.
Expelled? Why?
She carried a big kitchen knife to school.
A kitchen knife? What is she? An idiot? A baka? Why does she think it was a good idea to bring it? Can't you see what's been going on in the world as of late?
You tell me. I had the same questions as you and Miss Ida.
Monica!
Huh?
Monica, we saw Konoha with something.
Huh? What did you see?
She had a kitchen knife in her backpack. Her open backpack.
Oh.
Her open backpack. I saw it with my own eyes.
Wait. Another kitchen knife? Is this girl carrying multiple knives in her backpack? Who does she think she is, Dio? Did she buy a new one after she got hers confiscated? Or is the school staff so blind to search stuff properly? Weiss? I don't know! Is the school staff so incompetent to search for stuff properly? I wonder why that would be the case, Weiss, especially if they have all the evidence beforehand to see that people are capable of doing dangerous things in the past. Yet, for some reason, they're still blind to what's going on. Maybe they don't want to be involved, Weiss, or maybe they want to stick their heads so far in the sand that they don't want to be bothered with this stuff and let it be somebody else's problem. You know, Weiss, I wonder why that could be. Who's to say, really?
Another one.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Another one.
No time to explain. Come on, Monica. Monica and I rush back into the club room, with Natsuki following from behind, and it's very clear everyone has figured out what Kodonoa was carrying.
What is wrong with you, Kodonoa? Bring it out here. Are you crazy? Why do you think that was a good idea? Guys, I can explain.
Oh, you can explain, all right. Tell it to the judge. I slowly walk towards a circle of students surrounding Kodonoa. I already had Miss Seethe tell me that you've been expelled from the school carrying that thing on campus. There is zero tolerance for such behavior in this club.
Kodonoa, have you forgotten what's been going on in the world? You do realize that even if your reasons for carrying a kitchen knife were reasonable, your actions have more weight to it. You could say that you were using it reasonably, but all everyone's going to care about is that you brought it and it looks like a weapon. We all perceive in some different way or form. The school and I perceive it as something to panic about.
Also, you misspelled perceive twice.
I'm sorry. I
get it, Kodo. I understand. But this does excuse you for breaking the rules. Since you've been expelled, we can't have you in the club anymore. Nor can you continue to develop without purple diamonds. It's the end of the road for you now.
I'm sorry, Konoha, but the rules are the rules. As I say this with my mouth closed, I'm quite the ventriloquist.
Konoha takes a step back. She looks down to the floor and sighs.
Here's the other knife, Monica.
Another one.
Natsuki gives Monica Kodonoa's second knife. There didn't need to be a comma there.
Thank you, Natsuki.
We all stare back at Kodonoa for a bit. The situation had definitely not been in her favor. The game was rigged from the start. She then grabs her bag and walks out the club, never to be seen again at school or anywhere in town for all that matter. Yeah, after Mari got, she disappeared from DDMC as far as anyone's concerned. Chances are you're not going to hear from her again. But it's hard to feel bad for a pedophile. Very hard to. Monica, I think it's best that I have that knife. I'll take it to Misita. It's better that the staff see me with it than you. Why? Why is that the case?
Okay.
I mean, the only reason I can assume is that because Weiss has been the correspondent with Team Savannah instead of Camping Carl, but at the same time, I don't understand why that is. I assume I made hypotheses as to why that's the case, but truthfully speaking, I really don't know why it's the case. There's something that's bothering me. Monica wraps a knife around a piece of cloth and hands it to me. Thanks. I'll be back. After dealing with Kodano, I returned in the knife to Misita. I was thanked for my efforts by her. When I came back to the club, Monica had already dismissed everyone, and the club date closed off early on a bad note. You might think this was a one-off situation for the club. We all thought so. But then, everything came tumbling down, like a landslide. It almost felt like one of the club members was involved in breaking the code of conduct periodically over the course of 2 months after the previous incident. Misita would come to me and say the names of the people involved with breaking the rules.
Tom, plagiarism. Elizabeth, fighting. Raphael, misconduct.
All these people that were in the club breaking school rules. Then Yuri left the school due to them finding out that she was self-harming and sent somewhere else to get help. Rip. And it got worse with the club slowly turning a bunch of members, losing a bunch of members over time. But the final straw came when Monica and Sarah were called out by Miss Ida for breaking the rules. Ah yes, Logo Cast and Camp and Carl. Sayonara. Their charge was for cheating on multiple of their recent important semester exams along with some past ones. Cheating within itself was sinful, but cheating on a midterm and final for many years was something outlandish. The norm around the school was that anyone who was caught cheating by the school was someone you don't want to be around. Naturally. When I was told this, I wasn't even sure how to approach it. Though it wasn't long before everyone knew what was going on. When that day came, everyone wanted both Monica and Sarah to step down. Translation: Camp and Carl and LogoCast were caught. Camp and Carl was exposed for being a pedophile. LogoCast was trying to defend him. People got upset for LogoCast for trying to obscure the investigation. Well, really, they were getting upset with Braden and LogoCast. Oh, Braden's another member of the DDMC moderation team, by the way. Great guy that Braden is. Stupendous individual that Braden is. I'm totally not being sarcastic at all. LogoCast and Braden were accused of obstructing the investigation on Carl, and eventually they wanted both Carl to step down because he was accused of being a pedophile, and they wanted LogoCast to step down for believing to have defended Carl and that they really figured that they couldn't trust him. With that being the case, who was left to take over? Well, really, it was Braden, because Braden was the next in line after LogoCast. But who came in after that? Little old Weiss. You wanna know why Weiss came into power? Because nobody trusted Braden, because Braden was half of the reason why LogoCast was gone. Mio left the club in protest, taking a few friends with her on the way out. And yeah, it was around this time Yaga Mirai, and then it was like, I really don't want to be here anymore. There's too much shit going on, especially when the founder of this place turns out to be a dirtbag, and the second in command can't really be trusted. It's really sad. This is really sad to me, because all the people who actually cared about this place and could have done something to help make it better are now out the picture. They decided to step back and leave and let the control of this place go to people who, quite frankly, have no business being in charge of this thing in the first place. As sad as it is to say, it's the situation that we currently find ourselves in. Many people that worked alongside me on the team left to protest as well. The whole family I made during these years, gone. Gone at the flick of a pen due to someone's actions. I wish things turned out better back then. I could see why. Really, I could see why. All this happened so quickly. You're finding out things about people you didn't want to find out. And then you have all this stuff that's left on your shoulders and all this stuff left for you to deal with. As one of the sole members from all that time back in 2018. I wish nothing like this happened in the club. I wish to keep doing what I love to do. Yet it seemed like no matter what I do, I always lost it. Which brings me to today. The club is still active as ever, though it is a bit small. I still miss those days where I still miss those that I met along the way. I wish I could come back and see that the place has changed. But they probably moved on from the club at this point. Some people stayed. And some people just won't be coming back. Now there's just me being the supposed one in charge, even though Miss seethe had to actually come in and manage the club in Monika's spot. Even every now and then, someone releases a project that gets a lot of hype. But then, I noticed what people have been saying in these works. The positivity of how good these projects are. It was something I wanted. Okay, now here's the coping part of the mod, everybody. This is the part where you're going to see nothing but copium and copium and copium and copium. So, I'm going to let this say it the best.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yet you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
There's a lot of fucking coping going on, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it together. I released my project after some time, and well, the reception from it wasn't really good. Maybe I wasn't cut out to write projects. Here's Weiss's coping and self-loathing coming in, everybody. Or maybe it's just been so long since I started making it that over time, its writing became scattered. Which, you know what, to be fair, if all of that stuff with Cappy Carl and Mari and stuff happened while you were working on your mod, I could see why things didn't work out the way they did. Because you've had a lot of other stuff distract you from making the project the way it was supposed to be. And because you were mentally affected by that, and you were mentally affected by the lack of positive reception you got for your mod, I could probably see why you end up feeling like you weren't cut out for this line of work. It also didn't help the reception you got from this mod either. I just wanted to see the excitement when it came to releasing a project. I just wanted to see people say I did how good I did and thank me for it. Mio still gets thanks for her tool. Those who work on the projects in teams or by themselves get thanks. I just want to be part of it too. Yet it seems that it's blocked off for me. Okay, now here's Weiss crying and coping about the fact that people don't give him enough thanks for the mod temple he makes. When really, you should be appreciative of the fact that the majority of people in this community fucking use the thing at all. Because if they use it, that means they appreciate the fact that it's there, the fact that you made it. You want people to come up and give you a fucking cookie every time you use it, man? You wanna know who did that for you? The people who made fucking Squish Club. Oh, they were so happy to put your name all over that fucking thing because they were so happy to give you the credit you've been fucking begging for so long. And you know what that got you? It got you nowhere. But hey, you got to have your little head pats for being the good little boy that you are, Weiss, for making all the little happy tools that everyone in this community fucking uses. So I hope that makes you happy, big dog. Everything that I've been through, everything that I've been through, from the beginning to end, a roller coaster of emotions. It went from happy to sad to frustration, and anger all over the place. Why can't I just be at peace here? Why can the club not steer away from all of this? Why is it that I have to deal with the sheer chaos that happens? Why can't it just stop? Because, Weiss, here's the thing. You're now the head admin of DDMC. You don't get the privilege to complain about this stuff because now it's your responsibility to deal with all of it. Now, was it sad that all this is placed on your shoulders so rapidly? Is it sad that you've been placed into a situation you didn't ask for? Yes, it is very sad. It is sad you've been placed into a situation you didn't ask for. It is sad that all this stuff happened. It is sad that people you knew and loved are no longer here. It is sad that people you work with that once looked up to have found that have been exposed to be dirtbag. All that is very sad. And I can sympathize with you in the fact that you've been put in a situation you didn't ask for and you didn't want. I can empathize. I can sympathize with you on that. However, Kava, and you know, and I understand wanting to rant about it because it's just been weighing you down for so long. I understand that. I truly do. I'm not a bad guy. I can see where you're coming from, but I also know what you're running from. And I have to say, I can't stress this enough. You're the fucking admin of the entirety of DDMC. You're half of the ownership. This is your job now. This is your fucking responsibility. You're just gonna have to learn to deal with it. Stop! I can't take this anymore! Give me a damn break! No! We can't give you a damn break!
No.
Because this is what has been bestowed upon you. You either learn to suck it up and learn how to deal with it, or at the very least you're welcome to take your happy ass on elsewhere. Give your position to somebody else who'd be more than happy to handle it for you. Now I understand this is what you don't want to do because you said you had no intention of wanting to leave, and you know what? After being here for almost 5 years, I can understand you not wanting to leave. I can understand that you care about this place. You know, you care about what's going on here. So I understand that you're not that one to just give up and go. But complaining about what's going on is not going to do you any favors. So you better grow some balls, grow a backbone, damn it, and do your job. I'm sick and tired of you, Dad. And here come Weiss's daddy issues once again. I'm sick and tired of class. I'm sick and tired of all this drama. I'm sick and tired of everything! Ah!
Yes. Oh my God.
Why can't there be peace in the place that I've called home for many years? Why can't I get anything? Now, I hope y'all are understanding why why I said this is the copium part of the mod, because all I hear right now is coping, crying, begging, and more coping. And it doesn't stop, can't stop, won't stop, going on and on till the early morn, on and on till the end of time. Am I just an AI? An AI interacting with the world? Is Weiss just an NPC? Is Weiss an NPC? Yes or no? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Or am I just a human being stuck inside a cube, being judged and tortured at the same time? No, that just sounds stupid. Sigh. All I want is to be part of this place. Be part of a place I called home for many years. I just wish that I could turn back time to the good old days where Mama sang us to sleep when I was stressed out. Shout out to all the 21 Pilot fans out there. Yo. Oh, okay. Now we've reached the end of the mod. I hope you guys are ready for this. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm sorry for even writing this mod to begin with. No, you're not. You're not sorry. Because if you were sorry, you wouldn't have done this in the first place. So give some fake platitude about how you're sorry that all this had to be. No. Spare us that. Actually, I should just be direct with this. As if you weren't already direct with this whole facade of everything and whatnot. It's not like you're very nuanced about everything to begin with. This is just this is just me disguising everything about the community I had been with for over 4 years. Now we have Weiss herself coming to explain everything for us. I mean, I will say the art, the sprite work here does look very nice. But it is pretty funny that the dude went out of his way to get a Weiss sprite made just to have as his representative, as his avatar. Because like I said, as you all know, Weiss prefers to be referred to as Weiss Schnee from the Ruby series. For what reason? Don't know. But Weiss is just somebody that, Weiss Schnee is somebody that Weiss happens to identify with. This has been, okay, yeah, I read this already, actually. 4 years of staff chaos, community chaos, project chaos, everything. 4 years of development, just to be someone that exists. It's been tearing me apart for so long that I don't know at times what to do. I know, you must be saying that the things I mention are stupid, that I'm just overblowing this, that this isn't a mod. No, this is very much a mod. This is by all accounts a modification of Doki Doki Literature Club. This is a mod. No, this is a mod. You can't say that this is not a mod. The problem is that aside from being just a mod, this has been a big coping session for you for the entirety of this time. It's not stupid for you to explain what's been going on, and I'm not going to say it's stupid for you to want to get all this off your chest. I'm not going to say it's stupid. What I will say, though, is that it seems very contrived to have you come here fucking crying about all these things when you're your own worst enemy. You have the ability to make all the change, to help facilitate all the changes you want to make in this place. But instead of actually doing anything to actually facilitate the changes you want to make, you want to sit here and cry about it. And I remember after this came out, I asked Weiss directly, what do you plan on doing to, oh, actually wait, let me get to that later. I'm going to get to that later. I'm going to get to that when it shows up here. And you might be right. I might just be blind and stupid at the same time. Wait, hold on. I got just the thing for this.
Bitch, you guessed it. You was right.
But like, why is it that we are like this? Why is it we do these things? Break common sense? The law? Why? Every time I have to deal with these pedo cases, it wears me out further and further. And I know that this won't be the last time I face this kind of situation. Yes! Because as the head moderator of the community, the head admin of the community, one of them anyway, at least one that actually bothers to show up, the other one can't be asked to be around for anything, shows up at least 1 to 3 times a year if you're lucky, and is such a complete incompetent asshole that he'll do nothing unless he's presented with mountains of evidence. And even when he's presented with evidence, he's so anti-doing his fucking job that he'll just pretend like he didn't see it and make you feel like you're the asshole. Because that's the kind of piece of shit he really is. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet. Every time some drama occurs, it also further wears me out. It's getting to a point where I start asking myself, why can't people have common sense in this community? Why can't people just not steal things or commit these actions to begin with? Well, why is that? Because the majority of people with DDMC are brain dead. Don't ya know? This is just one of the many questions I have with what I have experienced since 2018. I just want the DDMC to be happy, to go back to the roots of what this community was, a community for DDLC mods, and see why it still could be that place. Fundamentally at its core, that is what it is. That hasn't gone anywhere. It's just that the problem is, you have some bad actors in this community that kind of want to ruin the fun for everybody else. Now you're aware of who these bad actors are, you know exactly what the problem is. Now for some reason, you refuse to do anything about the bad actors that are causing problems in the community. Now, if you create the environment that allows the germ to mutate to become stronger, you can't then complain about why is everybody getting affected by this germ? Why can't we go back to the good old days when we didn't have these germs in the first place? I just don't understand it, guys. What's the problem? Not this place where everything was blown into chaos and caused the community to be tainted throughout the years. I don't know what to do anymore. What could I do to restore the place that I once called home? What could I do to make it happy? Make it different? I don't know whether you're a mod author, content creator, or just a fan of the game, but... Okay, now what this is Weiss being cute and trying to look at your, like the name of your computer to like talk to the player directly. This is the name of my computer, so just don't mind that, don't mind me. AskRock8300, I hope that's your name. It's not. What should I do? Tell me, please. What can I do to fix all of this? Thanks for hearing me out. Oh, I mean, Weiss, I could go on for a while about the things you could do to fix this out. In fact, I probably will later on. But will you do anything about it? Probably not. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if okay, well, I guess I might as well mention this now. You know, it's funny because I remember asking Weiss directly about what do you do to plan to improve this place actually? Based on everything you said in this mod right here. And Weiss said, only time will tell. Only time will tell. You're telling me after all this time you spent crying? Actually, hold on. Let me go right now and look up the exact quote because I had the screenshots for this, and I'll provide the screenshots in the video itself so you all could read this for your own eyes. So if you don't believe me, if you don't believe your boy, you can believe the pictures, because the pictures do not lie. And I said, how exactly do you improve it exactly? Only time will tell, TBH. I just want to steer the place away from drama and making mods for fun. What kind of response is that? If you're gonna sit here and say you want to improve the community and stuff, I would hope you at least had a more concrete plan to get that in order. It just seems like a bunch of wishful hoping and thinking. That's not exactly inspiring coming from somebody who's supposed to be half of the ownership of the entirety of this community. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm getting upset here. I'm not upset. I'm just very passionate about this. I just have a lot to say in this regard. Because I've been in this place for about 2 years now. Probably going on 3 years. And I've been through quite a few things. I've been through a lot since I've been during my time here. And now just to have somebody like this, in this position here, in this type of place to say these things, I think I have a lot I need to say to this person. And I feel like I have the merit to do so. Even though this is a weird place to say all of this, thank you. I needed someone to hear me out. Oh, hey, Weiss, I hear you loud and clear. No problem, my G. I know what you might be asking. What am I doing here? What is this mod? Why did I name this project Remembering? Because you're remembering to cope. Well, asked Rock8300, you see, long ago. This mod isn't like many mods. Actually, that's why I have to disagree with you. There are many mods where people complain and express their grievances about other people, things they don't like. For example, all the leaning on the bridges made by VA, the sour taste of celebrity friendships made by VA and Fit. That's a special one that holds a place in my heart. And Scene BG Bedroom, that's another mod that holds a special place in my heart, that also complains about things that they don't like and things that happened in the community over the past few years. Those are just a few mods I can think of off the top of my head that do exactly what you're doing here, Weiss. So, you're not unique in this regard, you're not special. But I'll admit, most people focus on the story instead of just trying to complain and vent. So I'll give you that regard and say it's not like many mods, but this isn't original by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just going to be honest with you. This mod is about me remembering the past. Remembering a old, not an old, a old DDMC that has been lost to the test of time. Well, that's true. You can't go back to the time where there were fewer mods. The mods were more garbage because they didn't have the resources they have now. And you can't go back to the time where you didn't know there were pedophiles here. As you might be guessing right now, most of these memories you saw were things I faced back then, toned down and adapted into DDLC and its characters. It is characters. Not its characters, it is characters because you have an apostrophe there. Being those in the DDMC at the time, as if that wasn't already obvious from the beginning, here's why spelling all that out for you. Konoha, for example, represented the pedo events of Emerald Heart, which was adapted to Purple Diamonds, which is exactly what I said before. Back then, there weren't any drama like copyright, pedo instances, and such. All we were just a thriving community where people just released mods and people enjoyed them. Sure, we still do that to this day and the community has changed, but it still feels like the place has been tainted by what has happened these last few years. I mean, that's true. You're not going to get past the shadow of all the pedo incidences, especially when especially the main founder of the community was pedo. It's going to be kind of hard to get away from that. However, because the DDLC community, the DDLC modding community is a lot bigger than Doki Doki Modding Club and the Doki Doki Modding Club Discord and subreddit. Because there are a lot of people out there who know about DDLC and know about DDLC mods who have no clue all this happened. Really, it only affects people who want to get further involved in this place or people who know about what happened. Those are really the main people that this stuff would affect. Because if you're anybody outside of this place, you don't really know anything about this. I just want to make a better modding community for anyone. Not just for myself, but for everyone in Team Salvato themselves. I want to go back to the old days of modding, where there were no egos and no drama. And there it is! There it is!
Pause! What is that?
Funny. You're not fun. You think you're quirky?
You're not funny. You're not quirky. I don't know what the fuck you think this is, Weiss. Oh my. We gotta go back to today where there are no egos and there are no drama. You know who are the fucking bastards who said there are no egos and no drama? The same bastards who made the Leaning on the Bridges, who made the Lemon Mod, who made the CBG Bedroom. These are the same bastards who made all these projects. And you're gonna sit here and fucking quote the things that they said. Look here. Look here. I understand you want to go back to times. I understand you want to go back to times that are simpler and where things were better. The problem is, though, you won't be able to do that if you don't get rid of the root cause of all the problems in the first place. Now, I would want more for anything to go back to a time where I didn't have to worry about a lot of the headaches and stuff that have been going on with me for the past year and some change. When I first came into this place back in 2020, I just wanted to be able to... I didn't want to be able to play the mods other people made and had a good time. Quite frankly, I didn't even know I'd be here, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for the day September 7th of 2020 when I played my first DDLC mod, Doki Doki Thought Club. And ever since then, I just had fun here. Have I met some people along the way? I've met some great people along the way too. There's some people I could have went without knowing, but hey, that's all part of the experience. It's all part of learning how to grow up. And when I decided to make Triple Trouble back in December of 2021, I wanted nothing more than just be able to have fun with my friends, make a mod that I was proud of, just to be able to tell a story that I wanted to tell to people. That's all I wanted at the end of the day, and that's all I still want, really. So you know what, Weiss? I can sympathize with you in this regard. The problem is that things aren't like that anymore. And they're not going to be like that unless you decide to do something about it. I don't know why you haven't done anything about it this whole time. Especially since you know what's going on. And the mere fact that you are here saying you want to go back to a day where there are no egos and no drama is laughable to me. It is absurd. Unless this is a dog whistle or some subliminal messaging, some coding that you want certain people to see and understand. In which case, maybe you're big braining this more than I thought you were, but something tells me that's just simply not the case. So that being said, Weiss, please understand that you have the authority, you have the power to make the changes you want to make things better. You have the ability to do what you're asking, what you're begging and coping people here to do. But you just don't want to do it. Now, I understand why, because there's some parties, like I said, who have made certain things, who are quite popular in the community and are responsible for a vast majority of projects that are out there today. And if you were to if you were to do something about these individuals, all their projects would go away. And that would be a large chunk of playable content made for DDMC out the window. Obviously, you wouldn't want that. So, the smart thing to do, the wise business decision to make at the end of the day would be to keep these people around, to keep making content, and to keep their large catalog of content around. So people could play it, and you have more people say, wow, this community is cool, and this community has a lot of cool stuff made by talented people. I can see that, and I can respect that. At the end of the day, I can respect a businessman making business decisions. But here's the thing. You can't have it both ways. You can't make business decisions with bad actors and then complain about there being drama in the community caused by said bad actors. You either shut up about it, let the bad actors keep doing what they want, and show the people at large that you really don't care about them as long as you get what you want, which is the bottom line of people in this place being active, consuming content, and waiting patiently for more content, or you take the bastards out that are causing problems for everybody and deal with the ramifications of that as they come. What are you going to decide? What are you going to decide to do? Really? What are you going to decide to do? Please tell me. Or don't. It doesn't matter if you don't tell me. I just want you to do something. Just finally do something and stop fucking whining. If you could do that for me, if you could do that for us, the world would be a much better place, in my opinion. DDMC would be a much better place in our opinion, because at least then we know where you stand. We know where you stand, we know where Braylon would stand, we know where the rest of the moderation staff would stand, and we all can move on with our lives. A time where we made mods for fun, enjoyed them, made friends, family, and so much more. While I understand that the DDMC of the past will stay in the past, I think we should remember the community and all the positives and inspiring things that it gave us. All the great things that it gave us and all the not so great things that it gave us, and sometimes for all the shit that it gave us. As of today, I think we have slowly made progress towards that, with recent mods, art, tools making the community a bit more diverse for what it formerly was. As to the name of the mod, well, the reason I chose it, aside from recounting my past, was to remind you of the word itself, and because it's something important to me. Even though I have faced the onslaught of chaos, the loss of my staff, family, and more, I still remember the very important things in this community. Though you may ask, remembering, what should we be remembering? Aside from remembering the community, we should also remember everyone who has contributed to it in the past and to this day. Without them, we wouldn't have the community we have to begin with, which is true. That is very true. I could agree with you on that. I see people remember and thank the authors of mods for writing their works, content creators for their work, proofreaders for checking the mods for grammar issues, coders for making the mods look how they're supposed to be. But there is always one group who's been left out that feels excluded from all of this. That group are the mod tool makers, aka me. Where's my thanks, everybody?
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping. coping so hard. Coping and seething.
More coping and seething. With the exception of MPT, very few people have ever thanked those who make the tools that make more things to DDLC and make DDLC mods possible. I'm sad, like many others, someone who is rarely thanked for their work, even though I maintain the tool that has been the skeleton for many DDLC mods to this day. And the fact that you made the tool and people have been using it means they appreciate the work that you've done. And the fact that they all credit you in their mods means they appreciate the work that you've done and want people to recognize what you did. I'm sorry for the fact that people don't pat you on your head and tell you what a special little boy you are. But you should take satisfaction in the fact that you know that people use the thing that you made. Why is that so hard for you to accept and to understand? You want more people to pat you on the head and give you a fucking cookie for something you did for free? It seems less like you did this out of the kindness of your heart, and it just seems like you just did this because you want to be recognized and you want attention. It seems like you want it. And I understand I understand people want to be appreciated for the things that they made, and a lot of people make things because they want other people to enjoy them. But my thing is that I get it, but it's annoying when you keep crying about it all the time. You're gonna get less people wanting to thank you for it, and more people tell you to shut the fuck up, you're an annoying piece of shit. Which is why what happened in Squish Club happened in the first place, Weiss. But that doesn't matter to you. As long as you get your little head pats and people tell you what a special little boy you are, you get to just say, yay, credit, and go about your day. That's all you want, just people to pat you on the head, tell you what a special little boy you are. Well, Weiss, I hope you get plenty of people patting you on your little head in the future and telling you how much of a good little coder you are for everything that you've done. But we get it. You made the mod template. Congratulations. And everyone uses it. Congratulations. I'm truly happy for you that you made something that plenty of people benefited from. I benefited from it myself, personally. And I'll be more than happy to credit you for everything that you've made that helped get me where I needed to go. Just stop crying about it. Stop crying about it. It's annoying, it's obnoxious, it makes it seem like you made the modding template for less righteous reasons than just trying to help the community out. And it makes you look like a very shitty person overall, because instead of trying to do something nice, you're trying to do something to get something for people. And you're going to make people feel shitty when they don't give you what you want. That makes you seem less like a good person and more like an emotional manipulator who wants something for nothing. You might have your own reason as to why, which I might not know of, but I accept it as a valid opinion. It might sound niche to thank people who just make the code for, say, a phone system, a skeleton for mods, or a music player. Suray and Elkaro, Weiss. But these people are as important as those who make mods. You make tools to help facilitate people that make mods, yes. However, if it wasn't for people making mods, they wouldn't be using the fucking tools in the first place. And people make the tools to help mod makers add flavor to their mods and their stories to help sell it just that much better. You do realize these things go hand in hand, right? Like, if nobody made mods, nobody would have a use for your template. If nobody made mods, nobody would have use for the phone system that Elkaro and Suray made. If nobody made mods, nobody would have use for any of the music for the music player or the UI systems or anything like that. You do realize this, right? And furthermore, to your point, if you didn't have people who help make artwork for mods, again, it'd be harder for people to make mods in the first place because they would need to have artwork to help express their stories better. And also, if you didn't have content creators like me and Finn and Savage making content on mods, or Kane Monger for that matter, or Shinri for that matter, making content on mods, you wouldn't get more people finding out about mods, joining the community, wanting to make mods of their own. So all these things kind of go hand in hand. I understand you're a special little boy, you want people to appreciate the work you did for making the mod template, but you do realize that without these other people helping make all of this fucking possible, you wouldn't have shit. So again, stop crying about people not thanking you for the mod template you made. Just appreciate the fact that people like it and move on with your life, bro. We should just be thanking it, BT. We should really be thanking every one of these toolmate authors. Sigh. I'm sorry that you expected this mod to be something else. Well, to be fair, you did hype this up to be something else other than just a coping and seething and ranting mod. So that's on you for kind of falsely advertising what this is and misleading people. I know the mod is bad. I'm not very good at writing. Well, that much is true. The writing could be better in this, but that's not the main issue with this. The writing of itself is not the main issue. The main issue is that you spend most of the time coping and seething and molding and whining and crying and bitching and moaning. I just want to get this off my chest, no matter the end result. I don't have much else to say, so I should leave you here. I should leave you with this. The takeaway from this mod is rather short and simple. What you should take from this is the word remember. Remember the DDMC for all the positive things it's given you, despite its massive flaws. Well, that certainly is a true statement right there. And remember those that have contributed to your favorite mod outside of just the team or the devs themselves, aka remember me! I made the mod template! Remember me! Additionally, remember all those good memories you had in your life. They could go a long way when you feel lost, alone, and more. Back to the DDMC. Let's make it thrive again. Show our appreciation to DDLC, DDLC Mods, and everyone involved in it. What do you say, AskRock800? Let's make our experience here worth remembering. And remember, guys, remember that this mod is about
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
It is our duty, after all. Yes.
Yes. Oh my god.
And then this is a letter recapping everything that we just went through. But for the sake of continuity and completion's sake, I will go over it. Thank you for playing Remembering, my second major mod entry. This mod has meant a lot to me. It felt like I just grabbed the bottle of sadness from this community that I've been storing for a while, went outside, poured all of its contents down to earth, where it could be purified, turned into something new. Even though the DDMC has changed throughout the years and many people have come and gone, I still care for the DDMC the same way I cared for it when I visited the first time all those years ago. I wanted to drive the community to something greater. I wanted to innovate DDLC, the DDLC modded community, everything. I hope this is something you also agree with. Do you remember the question I gave you? Namer, whoever you are, what should I do? I want to hear what you have to say on it. Thanks for hearing me out, and once again, thank you for playing Remembering. I hope you share the same desire as I and understand the message of the mod. With kind regards, Weiss, Hanaka, Weissika, Gansta. So Weiss, you want to know what you should do? Tell you what, Weiss, I actually will love to help be a part of the making a change and helping make DDMC a good place to be for all the good little boys and girls on the internet who want to help make DDLC mods. I'm helping in my own way with my contributions to the community by making content that people could enjoy off of the other projects that people have made, as well as making my own projects that other people could enjoy. So I'm contributing to this community by making my own content, as well as playing other people's content. So either way, I'm doubly making content for the community, so I'm helping out in my own regard there. I prefer making friends in this place over enemies, but I've made quite a few enemies during my 2 years in this place. Why I've made so many enemies, I really don't know. I got people hate on me for really nothing. But you know what they say? You don't get haters if you're not doing something right. Now, that being said, you want to know what you could do about this place. The first thing you could do is grow some balls, grow a spine, and be more effective with your decision making. I know you say you care, but you have to start being more involved with the place here. Actually start engaging people more. Stop acting fucking confused every time you come into a conversation, the community, or the Reddit discussion channel, and be like, what's going on here? What's going on, everybody? I don't know what's going on here. Could people explain to me? For fuck's sake, bro. Just take some time to scroll up and read. At least act like you want to be involved with everybody else. They're just popping in from time to time, and acting like you act like you have amnesia. The second thing is you have to be more effective at taking care of the troublemakers. This is where I say having a backbone comes in, because no matter how hard it is, no matter how tough it might be, you are the admin of the community. You have the ability, you have the power to go in and make the difficult decisions that need to be made. And I understand at the end of the day, you need the help of the other people in the community to help maintain order. And you need the help of the other people in the community to treat other people right and to help do right by other people. And for the most part, I think a lot of people in this place, as brain dead as they might be, are willing to help accommodate people and make this place feel welcoming. The problem is that you have people who are bad actors in this place, and then you have people who are so oblivious to these bad actors, they either don't understand what's going on, they don't care about what's going on, or they stick their heads so far in the sand, they're so blind and deaf and dumb to what's going on, that all the bad actors get to just roam free, cause mischief, cause drama, cause problems, all the problems you say you're tired of dealing with, that are just weighing so heavily on your mind and your shoulders, that nothing seems to be done. It's come to the point where some people like me, and people who have half a brain that can see what's going on in this place, are like, nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. So, if you're really keen on making this place something better, a place where people could actually enjoy their time here, why don't you just make life easier on yourself and get rid of the drama where it comes from? Where people cause problems, get rid of them. You know who they are. You know what the problem is. I don't know what you and the other guys are doing, quite frankly. All I can say is just be the bigger person, be the smart guy. Take all of this off of your shoulders and just get rid of the people you know are causing problems. I understand it's not as flashy as the pedo instances and stuff, and the pedo instances you can't really ignore. You had to do something about those. Will it be the last time you deal with it? Probably not. I hope it is. I don't like pedos as much as the next guy. But at the same time, we really haven't got anything like that recently, thankfully, and I hope it stays that way. Now, in this instance here, we don't have pedos running around. Instead, we have sociopaths running around. We have people who our sole mission is to cause mischief and problems for other people, spread lies, slander, and misinformation on people, cause people so many problems that they can no longer work together and work in a community that they've come to like and appreciate and just want to have fun. You can't have that anymore because you have sociopaths running around, causing problems for everybody, acting like they're some sort of sycophanted mafia dons. And nothing's been done about that. They put on this facade to act like they're friends with people that they truthfully can't stand, they don't stand, they think very little of, they hate every single one of them, and most of the community is so brain dead, they're all just happy to go along with it. But you know all this. You know all this and you're aware of it. And instead of doing anything to fix this problem, you're just going to sit here and act like, oh guys, I don't know what to do. I'm just tired of all these problems. Do you want to help me make this place a better place? Actually, I would. But the problem is we can't help you until you help yourselves. You know what the problem is, so just fucking fix it. Fix the problem, get rid of the toxicity of this place, make sure to monitor the toxicity of this place, and make sure this kind of stuff doesn't happen again. You know, do something that moderators are supposed to do. Moderate the community to take out the trash. Oh, but wait, I'm mistaken. Because as was said by one of the other head admins in this place, being a moderator of DDMC, you're not supposed to moderate this place. That's an overstepping of what your job actually is. If you're supposed to be a moderator, being a moderator is just, the title moderator is just to differentiate yourself from the commoners here. The little peons that run around and make content and talk to each other. No. Our job is to represent the community in a positive light and to show this place that this is a well-run, organized, content-making machine where people can come together, express their interests. Anything other than that, you know, like doing the actual job of moderating a community, that's beyond us. We don't need to worry about that. So with people like that in charge of this fucking place, isn't it any wonder why you're stressed out to all hell and back Weiss after dealing with all this drama after drama after drama? Wouldn't it be nice to just have all of this taken off your shoulders and you don't have to think about it anymore? Wouldn't it be nice to just live together in harmony and just go back to the days of making mods? Making sure that people are aware of this stuff. And just, you know, we could just chill out and have fun. I would love to go back to that time. I know you'd love to go back to that time too. Problem is that the current administration in charge just doesn't seem to be interested in letting that happen. But again, what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet. Thanks for playing with a little Weiss chibi. Well guys, that was Remembering to Cope. A Gangsta King of SA, Weissika, Hanaka, Gansta Weiss production. I hope you all enjoyed the mod for what it's worth, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary of it even more. I realized I probably felt a little long-winded there, but hey, I had a lot to get off my chest as well. So I figured this would be the best way to go about it. Now, if you made it to this part of the video, 1, I greatly appreciate you. 2, I hope you hit that like button and subscribe button if you're new here. And 3, if you could type hashtag cope and seethe in the comment section, just so I know you made it to this point. I'd be greatly appreciative of it. Anyway, I think I've talked myself to death. I think I've said everything I need to be said here. So, I'm gonna head out. And it's been real. It's been fun. It's your boy JQilin. Ciao for now.
After all, we're the secret villain of this script.